I chose photography. I think I was interested in cameras and the photographic process. It struck me straight away when I started there how little I knew about photography and seeing things visually. I thought the instruction was very beneficial, very educational. There was naturally a strong black and white photographic influence. It was a style that was very what I call non-applied. It wasn't sort of steering itself towards professional or commercial photography, although some students had an interest in that. Personally, I always felt that I would never be a professional photographer. I didn't have any interest in doing that. I wanted to be an art photographer. I think at Prahran it was, to my way of thinking, very, very evident that there was a strong local Australian style being born there in photography. It was a very open syllabus where you could do what you wanted to do, and I frequently did. Creativity was encouraged there, I think quite well, but I think as students we didn't always live up to it, mainly due to lack of experience or confidence. I remember being involved in a project with a lecturer, I think his name was Ollie Munster. He might have been a friend of Paul Cox's. He came in to oversee a filmmaking project, I think it must have been in my second year. The topic of the movie was the waste station in South Yarra where they handle all the local garbage. So we got in there and we're making a film about garbage processing. That's all the cinema that I did at Prahran. In later years I studied screenplay writing. That's made me interested in cinema. Maybe the first show at the Photographers Gallery in Punt Road. Paul Cox and John Williams were operating that gallery. So I was in a show there with Steve Lejeski and a girl called Peggy Solinsky from America. I think I had 9 12 by 16 inch black and white prints, which were photographs that I'd taken whilst being a student at Prahran. I was very influenced by the early work of Ralph Gibson, especially his book Somnambulist. Pictures of people and objects but taken as if they were still lifes. For 5 years I had a shopfront wedding portrait photo studio in Carlisle Street in St Kilda. That was an interesting time of my life where I discovered I didn't really enjoy being a shopkeeper that much. I wasn't charging enough for my work and it wasn't really a very sustainable business. And I used to spend huge amounts of time in the shopkeeping process. After that I moved into a small warehouse in Brighton, doing a lot of antiques photography, which was mostly colour transparency work, which I photographed on a view camera. I think anyone like me with a large collection of black and white negatives that goes back over many years, it's good to have a darkroom so you can print them. The quality that you can make in the darkroom is quite fantastic, and I personally prefer the look of good quality silver gelatin prints over the digitally produced black and white image. I mean, the digital is fantastic for colour photography. Pathway now is much more successful and better controlled. To take photos today you need to use digital cameras and processors for many reasons today, and there are plenty of advantages in doing it. But for me the black and white film and print process is definitely worth hanging on to.